Does anybody have any triathlon dreams? Most people do. I mean, I did. I started in 1985. Steve, you got any?
Actually, I do. I would someday go to Kona.
Go to Kona, yeah.
Earn the title Ironman.
Earn the title Ironman.
Yeah. Do the real Ironman.
Yeah, do the real Ironman, yeah. You go to, has anybody been to like a Thanksgiving dinner, you're talking to family, wedding reception, and say, oh, you're a triathlete. Oh, have you ever done the real one in Hawaii?
Yeah.
You know, you've been racing 5 years, doing 6 to 10 races a year, but then you've never done Kona, so I guess you've never done a real one. But yes, most of us have a dream. Me too, okay? And yeah, this is what you get when you cross the finish line, is a big, huge medal and a little trophy. So my dream,
Closest I've ever come.
my dream started in 1985, okay? For our listeners, as people can't see this news article, but this was after my first triathlon. And then in 2003, finally got there.
Awesome.
Although I want to go back because in 2003 I didn't get to maximize my whole potential because 1-year-olds have a tendency to get parents sick. So my son got me really, really sick. I normally have a heart rate in the morning of 33 to 35, and that race day I was like 50. So one thing about it was I was really painless Ironman because I just wanted to finish. I wasn't competitive or anything. So anyway, but what's helped me over the years is just to know that there's a difference between having goals and dreams. A dream is basically sort of the end state, okay? And goals are what, milestones, stepping stones to get to that dream. So if people ever hire coaches, this is what a coach should be all about, goals. Because a coach can't give you a dream. Why a dream's so important is that's what wakes you up in the morning when it's freezing cold in January and you got to get to the pool early and, all those things. The dream is your equity to carry you through that 1 year or 5 years, or hopefully not like me where it took you 18 years to get to our world championships in Kona. So, but anyway, does that make sense, the difference between a goal and a dream? And I have this acronym, Ali, who happens to be my favorite athlete because he was interviewed once about training, and it was right after a fight, and the interviewer said, was this your greatest victory? And he said, no, my greatest victories happened in training. And because of what was accomplished in training, when I came out here before a fight or my interviews just before a fight, I was already celebrating. I was already celebrating what was accomplished in the training. So I already knew I was going to win. I knew I was at my best. So, but the acronym is attitude, lifestyles, and intelligence. So you guys obviously have the attitude and the lifestyle because you're triathletes. Hopefully today I can help build on the intelligence aspect of it. There are 3 things to make you a faster swimmer. Does anybody know what 3 things there are to make you a faster swimmer?
No, you're
Can't look at the answers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in my experience and what I've learned from you, just body position and technique.
Okay, technique. That's a good one. That's a good one. Well, you've already been to these clinics, so you're giving the answer there first.
Yeah. I think it gets some breathing. How you breathe.
Okay.
Head position.
Well, with breathing, most people think you have to do stuff that makes you breathe real hard, like going hard. Okay, and those 2 things are, first is your anaerobic threshold and VO2 max. Okay. Those 2 things are generally given to us by our parents. And your VO2 max is essentially the volume or the amount of oxygen you can push through your lungs. And you understand that you want a lot of oxygen in your lungs because that gets in your blood and that provides fuel to your muscles. Okay? But we have limitations on that genetically. There's limits there, 2 to 3%. All right? With lactate threshold, that's basically a certain point in time where you can't go hard anymore. Sooner or later, your heart rate combines with other factors within your body, and it says, hey, I better slow down. You better slow down, or something's going to break here. All right? Smart training, people like Lance Armstrong, they train just below their lactate threshold, and the theory is over time it pushes that number up. So in other words, you have a lot longer time to fatigue, if that makes any sense, lactate threshold. So you have an X and Y axis, and pretty soon there's a point in that curve where it dips. Well, lactate threshold is that point, okay? Some people call it the point of no return. But those two things that make you go faster have limitations on it. Plus, they involved hard training, volume and intensity. Does that make sense? Volume and intensity. What I'm all about when I talk to people is I want to teach technique. I want to teach you how to be economical with the resources that God gave you. You've been given valuable systems, skeletal systems, muscular systems, aerobic systems. And so that's where I think I fit in to help people. And I also help myself because I eat my own recipes. So today we're going to talk about is technique in swimming. And the good thing about technique is it doesn't matter what age you are, you have unlimited potential to get faster. Right? Whereas the other two, do you see there are limits to getting faster, okay? So that's why it makes sense for the triathlete to focus on technique and how economical you are with your resources. Because a lot of us everybody here has a pretty intense job and they have family members, and we don't have the luxury of every week time for volume and intensity in our schedules. Whatever we do, that 1 hour has to